When I say the word snoring, what comes to mind? Most people think of snoring as funny, something to laugh at, right?
Are you kidding me?
But you know what's not funny? The fact that for years, I ignored my wife's snoring. If I had taken it seriously, she'd probably still be alive today. I will never forget the day, walking into my bedroom, my 3-year-old holding her mother's hand, and she said, "Daddy, Mommy's cold, and she won't wake up." And her story is not the only one.
And we begin with the passing of a Hollywood legend and an American original. Carrie Fisher, dead at age 60.
Her cause of death now ruled in part sleep apnea.
A new report claiming that sleep apnea may have played a part in the death of Supreme Court Justice Anthony Scalia.
Study shows that people suffering from severe sleep apnea are almost twice as likely to die early.
My wife, Carrie Eckenrode, died October 27, 2015, from sleep apnea. After the funeral, I remember all these people asking me, "What is sleep apnea?"
I have a condition, I don't know if you guys know about this, it's called sleep apnea. If you don't know what sleep apnea is when you're so overweight that your body weight crushes you and murders you while you sleep.
Wake up, we have a mortgage, wake up. Not in this economy, you're not leaving.
I had no idea sleep apnea was such a big problem. I always thought sleep apnea just affected fat people. But after doing some research, I was stunned. As many as 1 in 3 adults suffer from this condition. Chances are somebody right now living in your home is walking around with this potentially fatal disease. And the really scary part is most of them, like my wife, are doing absolutely nothing about it.
The risk is really when someone is undiagnosed or untreated for sleep apnea, and then the risk for cardiovascular disease and death really does go up.
That's why I knew I had to make this documentary, because I don't want one more person dying in their sleep because they didn't know this is a potentially deadly sound.
Snoring? That's news to me. I didn't know that. I had no idea of that. Sounds pretty serious.
My wife snored like nobody's business, but I had never had anyone tell me that her snoring was the most obvious sign of her sleep apnea. I've spent the last 5 years learning everything I can about sleep apnea and sleep disordered breathing. I've interviewed experts at the very top of the medical field.
It is one of the biggest problems facing the developed world.
It really affects every single organ in the body.
Right up there with coronary artery disease, diabetes as a real predictor of early death.
I've met with patients who suffer from this condition.
It has affected my life because when you're tired, you can't function, you're running on adrenaline, you're living on, caffeine.
I'd wake up after 8 to 10 hours of sleep completely exhausted.
I need to go see a doctor. Something's got to change. I can't keep going through life without getting any sleep.
I've learned about the most common treatment and the problems associated with it.
There's the traditional CPAP machine, which works very well if it's used properly, although compliance rates with CPAP can be generally very, very low.
A lot of patients just don't want to have to wear a mask at night.
He had one of those masks that are sometimes worn overnight. He was not wearing the mask on the night of his death.
Is trying to treat disrupted sleep by actually being a disruption to sleep.
If this is a turnoff, I could do without it.
No.
I know it looks a little strange, but it does keep me from snoring.
I've also met with patients who took drastic surgical measures and had horrific results.
Surgery ruined my life. They literally saw your jaws off of your skull. The surgery itself was a complete disaster, left me disabled.
Then I discovered a group of dentists who are using an unorthodox treatment and are literally saving lives. These dentists are under fire for what they're doing. Some call them controversial. Some call them hacks. Some say they're going against everything they were taught in dental school.
This is not proven medicine.
But to those they treat, they're called miracle workers.
It changed my life.
I don't have to use the CPAP anymore.
Have a better quality of life now.
You really feel like you've been given a new life.
If it helped me, and with the barbaric treatment plans that other doctors over the course of 20 years have told me was my only hope, then it will help you.
I am now convinced. If my wife had had this treatment, no doubt in my mind, she'd be alive today. Sleep apnea is not what killed my wife. Not treating sleep apnea is what killed her. For the millions of people around the world, diagnosed and undiagnosed, suffering from sleep apnea, you watch this film, you share this film. I'm on a mission to rid the world of obstructive sleep apnea, and we can.